ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ। ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀਕਲਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਟੀਵੀ ਵੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਨਾਰਥ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ। ਮੈਂ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਨਦੀਪ ਕੌਰ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਤੇ ਬੁਲੇਟਿਨ ਦਾ ਆਗਾਜ਼ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸਿੱਖ ਬੁੱਧੀਜੀਵੀ ਅਤੇ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਲੇਖਿਕਾ ਬੀਬੀ ਇੰਨੀ ਕੌਰ ਜੋ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਕਈ ਪੁਸਤਕਾਂ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਰਪਿਤ ਕਰ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਨੇ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਪੁਸਤਕਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਖੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਵਿਦ ਨਾਨੀ ਜੀ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ, ਜਰਨੀ ਵਿਦ ਦ ਗੁਰੂਜ਼ ਐਂਡ ਡੈਡੀਜ਼ ਟਰਬਨ ਸ਼ਾਮਿਲ ਨੇ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਮਿਸ਼ਨ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਆਕਲੈਂਡ ਨਿਊ ਜਰਸੀ ਵਿਖੇ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਕੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਅਤੇ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਪੁਸਤਕਾਂ ਵਿਚਲੇ ਤੱਥਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣੂ ਕਰਵਾਇਆ। ਪੇਸ਼ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ। ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਮਿਸ਼ਨ ਆਕਲੈਂਡ ਨਿਊ ਜਰਸੀ ਵਿਖੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਰਿਸਰਚ ਇੰਸਟੀਚਿਊਟ ਦੇ CEO ਬੀਬੀ ਇੰਨੀ ਕੌਰ ਵਿਸ਼ੇਸ਼ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਪੱਤਰਕਾਰ ਜਗਜੀਵਨ ਕੌਰ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਅਤੇ ਵਿਸ਼ੇਸ਼ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਤਤਕਾਲੀਨ ਲਿਖੀ ਕਿਤਾਬ ਡੈਡੀ ਦੀ ਦਸਤਾਰ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਿਆ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। I'm here with Inni Kaur, and one of my favorite people, one of my favorite humans on the planet. I'm very excited to be here with her. We've met several times, and she has written another book. It's called Daddy's Turban. And how do you say this in Punjabi?
Daddy di dastar.
Daddy di dastar.
Yeah, because we want to use the word dastar, but because it was, for people to search it online, the word turban, but my original word was Daddy di dastar. Daddy's dastar.
Daddy's dastar.
Yeah.
So it's really a beautiful book, and she came here to the Guru Nanak Mission in Oakland, New Jersey, and Inni Kaur read the book to several different classes, I think 3 different classes, and she read one of her other books as well that she wrote in the past called Guruji's Journey, or did I say it wrong?
It's Journey with the Gurus.
Journey with the Gurus, and the book was so amazing. There's 3 volumes of it. So what inspired you to write this book, Daddy's Turban?
I think I've always been fascinated with the dastar. As a little girl, I would sit on my parents' bed and be fascinated with the way my father would tie his dastar. And I think this is a story which is not unique to me. Everyone, most children go through that. But what was unique was that my mother nudged me and she said, you know what? It's time that you started helping your father, because my mother would do my father's puni and, do that. So, of course, I was super excited to do that with my father. And, it took many trials and errors, but he was so patient. And, every time I did his dastar, the puni and the whole thing, and when he would tie it, he would give me a kiss. And, you talk about a little girl and, your father kissing you, and he would say thank you every time. And that's the best, and that's the sweetest memory, because as a child, as young ones, I don't think we remember those sweet memories, but this is the sweetest memory of my mother, my father, and myself. I mean, I have siblings, but this was just the 3 of us, and that's always been with me. It's been fascinating for me. And being part of the Sikh Research Institute, we have done the first book, which was Thank You Vaheguru, and that focused on the Namkaran ceremony. And this was a sequence to that this is the Dastar Bandi, and hopefully we will continue doing that. But the inspiration really was that I wanted to capture that moment. At the end of the day, for an author, it is what inspires you and what do you want to capture. And that's what I wanted to capture, that feeling which I had as a little girl.
Right, so you're now able to give that memory to other people.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
The thing that really captures a memory are, I think, photographs and repetition.
I think it's also tradition. It's also, we forget that the little tasks which we ask the children to do, or we invite them to do, and what our memories are. This is like an embedded memory in the community. And there's no book about it. It's not celebrated. And I wanted this to be a celebration. It's a celebration really of the dastar. It's a celebration of a family love. It's a celebration of a tradition. Because in the book, there is the grandfather is doing the dastar bandi of the father, and the child, the little boy, wants to say, well, my grandfather would do this. And every little boy wants to grow up and look like just his daddy. I mean, that's what I believe. Every girl wants to look like her mother. Certainly I did. So I wanted to capture that little boy and what it meant.
I think it would be great if a lot of parents will come out to their children's schools and read this book to the classrooms the way you did it.
Yeah, particularly in North America where the bar mitzvahs are very big, and this is partly to that. While there is in this book the main character is Teg, there is nothing to say that this book cannot be used for a girl who's going through her dastar bandi.
Yeah.
And that's hopefully my next book will be. Mummy's Crown, something like that sort.
Yeah.
What inspires, and I want to bring the inspiration part more in that book instead of, here I wanted to go with the tradition, with the family bondage, and there were other things. I think with the Mummy's Crown, I want to go more for the inspiration and being strong and what it really means to take on that in a very loving way, but in a way that I'm not quite sure what the word is. I'm looking for that angle. I think I have it in my head, but it's just putting it down to paper, and that's why I'm speaking to a lot of women and a lot of young girls as well, to get their words and what are they thinking when they look at someone another woman who's wearing a dastar. What inspires them? Because I want the voice. Every time you write a book, you want the voice to be authentic. So that authenticity hasn't come as yet for me, and when that comes, it will flow.
Every time I'm with you, I feel so much love come from you. And I do. I feel it. So much energy. Where do you think that comes from inside you? Do you think you got that from your mother and your father?
I mean, I think all of us do get. My parents had an incredible marriage. They created a home of love. But then, your love wavers because, I go through life, I go through my own challenges. But this love that you're talking about, I'm sure, I don't think about it, I am sure it has come from Guru. It is when Shabad entered my life changed. I say this often, but not often enough, that I was a dry twig by the roadside. And it was only when Guru graced and Shabad entered my life that this twig has blossomed, has actually got green and now is blossoming. So it is all grace, and grace is very real. Kirpa is very real. Shabad entering and transforming is very real, and that's so all this is very real for me. And this love is continuous because you don't control it. It just flows.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that today is on and today is off. Of course, some days, it's like you have to pause, and there are moments, there are events which create what we call a turmoil. But when you are centered and when you have that, or when you're blessed with that grace, you always find your way back. I mean, I can tell you that probably in the last 3-4 weeks, I felt personally that I went down this deep dark hole, the black hole, and I was falling, and truly not knowing where this was going to end. And yet, in the midst of this fall, in the midst of this darkness, I was held. Not to say that everything is fine, but just to know that you are held. The troubles will come, turmoils will come. It's how you deal with the situation, and to never lose sight of who you are and the grace that you carry. Because it's not about me anymore, it's about the grace. I must live up to that grace.
So while we're going through all of these things, people look at you during those moments and say, "You look so happy. You exude so much love and joy." And you say to yourself, "Wow." Right?
And I say to myself, that's grace.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Right.
It's never me. I mean, and, I'm very clear about that. And so everything that flows from me, I'm very clear that it's not me. It is something else that flows through me, and I produce it, even in my writings. And this is one of the reasons why I don't take, I've been asked to write columns, monthly columns, weekly columns, and I don't, because I cannot commit to writing something every month when I don't know what it's going to be. Because when it flows, it flows. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. And it's okay. Either way is okay. I'm fine with it.
Well, thank you for your time and for giving me this opportunity to speak with you. I love seeing you. So
My pleasure.
I will drive hours to come and see you.
Oh, you're very kind. You're very kind. Thank you.
So thank you. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa,
Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
ਇਸ ਮੌਕੇ ਇੰਨੀ ਕੌਰ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਵਿਸ਼ੇਸ਼ ਗੁਰਮਤਿ ਕਲਾਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਿਤਾਬ ਜਰਨੀ ਵਿਦ ਦਾ ਗੁਰੂਜ਼ ਵਿਚਲੇ ਕੁਝ ਤੱਥ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਸੁਣਾਏ। ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤਸਵੀਰਾਂ ਖਿਚਵਾਈਆਂ ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੁਸਤਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਵੰਡ ਵੀ ਕੀਤੀ। ਇਸ ਮੌਕੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਬੜੇ ਸੋਹਣੇ ਢੰਗ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਵਾਬ ਦਿੱਤੇ।
I need your help. So tell me, I think Guru Nanak Sahib was our 6th guru, right?
No.
No? What do you mean?
He was our first.
First? Really?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
He inspired all the gurus to be gurus.
Oh, right. Oh my gosh. You know a lot. I have to be very, very careful. And, I forgot. Who was traveling with Guru Sahib? Yeah. That's right. We know who Pai Mardana Ji was, right? Yeah, that's right. Now,
I didn't know a story about friends.
yeah, that's right. And Guru Nanak Sahib stayed in just one place. He didn't go anywhere, right?
No.
No?
He walked all over the world for 20 years. Yeah.
He walked all over. Oh my gosh, all of you are way too...
Shoes weren't even...
Right. So first of all, I want to tell you that this book is dedicated to all of you.
I think I have that book.
So because it says dedicated to sick children everywhere. You are them, aren't you?
Yeah.
So this book is dedicated to you. So if someone asks you, is there anywhere a book, have you ever had a book dedicated to you? What do you say?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you read that book?
Yes, I did. I wrote that book. I wrote the stories of that
I
book.
wanted to make a book one time I tried, but it didn't look good.
Oh, it doesn't matter. You have to keep trying. The idea is to keep trying. So I'm going to show you something really special. You know what? I don't know this mic. This is a map.
Where he was.
This is the map where all the footprints are where Guruji walked. All over the place.
Wait, he started here.
He started from Talwandi,
there.
right?
Yeah.
And he walked all over. He even went across the ocean.
Wow.
He took a boat, and then he went down south as well to Sri Lanka. That's all where he went. He traveled quite a far. Can you walk to New York? Okay, so it was far, right? It's quite a Guruji walk. It takes a long time. So this Sakhi, which I'm going to tell you, I don't think we have this Sakhi. First, let's take a look at a picture. So that's Guru Sahib. It's actually really not Guru Sahib because we don't know who Guru Sahib or what Guru Sahib looked like. But this is just an imagination of Guru Sahib with the children. Guru Sahib had two who?
People. No. I know. Four.
Guru Nanak Sahib.
Blue.
Guru Nanak Sahib had two
Sons.
That's right. High five.
What? Three. Four.
No,
Two
Guru
sons.
Nanak Sahib.
Two sons. How many daughters did
He did not have any.
Zero.
You know,
But she had
and so that
but
is.
he had a sister.
He had a sister. That's right. What was the name?
Baby
Nanaki. That's right. And so.
I wrote about Baby Nanaki.
Yes, I did write about Baby Nanaki and Mataji. So now they are all sitting at home. Like all of you sometimes sit home with mom and dad And your puas and your grandparents?
My boys came yesterday and had a sleepover.
Oh, how nice.
What about Mataji?
Mataji was also there. She was knitting. Everybody was there.
That's
So
my
I'm going.
knowledge.
Okay, so now I'm going to start the story. So we have to be quiet, right? And we ask questions in between. The summer heat was over, and the days were getting cooler. The countryside was once again beginning to turn green and blossom. One evening after dinner, Guruji said to his family, "Bhai Mardana and I will be leaving soon to continue our journey." You know what Mata Sulakni ji said? "The children and I will wait for you to return," she said lovingly. So what happened? The next day, Bhai Mardana went into town to get supplies for the travels, right? Because they were going to be walking all these ways. The shopkeeper could hardly believe that Guruji was leaving again. "Why are you going? Isn't it dangerous? Don't you get tired?" he shouted out. You know what Bhai Mardana said? What did he say? "When I am with Guruji, I am in no danger, and neither do I get tired. Guruji is my light, and I will go wherever Guruji goes." Wasn't that brave of Bhai Mardana to say that? So on the day of the departure, when they were leaving, Guruji and Bhai Mardana walked with Jairam Praji. Do we know who Jairam is?
No.
That's Bebe Nanaki's husband, Jairam Praji, and the children to the end of town. So all of them walked with them till the end of town. This is what Guruji said when he hugged his sons. Guruji hugged his sons and said, "Listen to your Mataji, Praji and Bebeji. Don't cause them any worries. I'll be back as soon as I can." So Guruji and Bhai the river Bias. You know, there were lots of rivers in Punjab. We know that, right? In a ferry.
1,000.
Yeah, there are quite a few rivers. Yes.
I think there's, my dad told me, he thinks there's maybe 3.
5 main rivers and lots of other small rivers. Okay? So how many main rivers in Punjab? 5. And lots of other small rivers. So they crossed the river and they slept. They walked through many villages and slept almost every night under the starry sky. And you know, wherever they went, they spread the message that we are all children of Ikumkar and we are all equal. Right. Guruji taught the people that it is our actions, it's what we do. When we are mean to somebody, we become not nice, low. And when we are good to somebody, we become high, right? High means we are good people. That's it's what we do. It's what we do makes us good or bad. That's right.
It depends on our actions.
Right. It depends on your actions. Guruji, Mardana said one day, "Guruji, it looks like it's going to rain. I think we should find a place to stay in the next village." So when Guruji and Bhai Mardana arrived in the next village, guess what Bhai Mardana did?
What?
He walked around the town, knocking on everyone's door and asking them, because there were no hotels, right? So he asked everyone in town, can they spend the night there? Can they spend the night with them? Do you know?
Everybody
No.
said no.
Everybody said no. Everybody in town said no.
I would say
So
why?
good question. Now's the answer. So one of them told by Mardana, if you were both Hindus and a Hindu family would be willing to keep both of you. And yes,
Guru Nanak Dev Ji was born in a Hindu family.
that's right. So what they were saying, and there was a lot happening at that time, if you were both of the same religion, if you were both the same, somebody of that faith would keep you. If you were both Muslims, then a Muslim family would keep you, right? But no one will keep one Hindu and one Muslim with them. So that was kind of like a no-no. And you know, one of them was really unkind, one of the people. Guess what he said? He said, there's a hut outside the village. Why don't you go there? I'm sure Nuri would want you to stay with him. That was really unkind. So Bhai Mardana came back to Guruji and told Guruji everything what the villagers had said. So Guruji said, it's hukam that we go and be with this man. And it's already begun to rain. So drops of rain were beginning to fall. And Guruji and Bhai Mardana walked to the end of the town where this hut was. So they stood outside because Bhai Mardana didn't want, he was already sad. So he asked from outside the hut, he said, greetings, can we spend the night with you? And from inside the hut, a very soft and a very sad voice came out. Please, please don't come near me. Said, man, I am a leper. I have an incurable disease. A leper, and everyone in the village has thrown me out here to live by myself. I am just waiting for death to put me out of my misery and my sadness. Don't come, because you'll get the same thing as I have. And that's the image. He was just lying there, nobody to look after him. All right?
Okay.
So, Guru,
He got it.
he-
How did you get the disease?
so Guruji heard the sadness in his voice.
But how did you
Sometimes you just get things.
What's a
I will talk about that later. And so Guruji and Bhai Mardana entered the hut. Nuri was so shocked to see them because no one had ever come to visit him. No one wanted to be sick like them. Guruji went over to Nuri's bed. He stroked his head gently and said, when Ikunkar, when Vaheguru, who has created everything, is forgotten, guess what happens? The mind becomes sick. And when the mind becomes sick and dark, then the body becomes sick and dark. So you must always have Vaheguru in your mind. That's right. Thinking about it, because Vaheguru will protect you and tell you what to do. So Guruji said, the cure for all sadness and darkness and disease is to feel Vaheguru within you. Where does Vaheguru live?
everywhere?
In everywhere. And where does Vaheguru live also? In you. So when you feel Vaheguru in you, you feel well. Don't you feel happy? And when you don't feel Vaheguru in you, do you feel sad? Yeah. And then you do things which are not nice, right? Then you're not kind to people because you don't care. But when you feel Vaheguru in you, then you become very careful, don't you? So Guruji listened carefully to Nuri's words. And Nuri said, I can barely walk.
Barely?
Barely means I can hardly walk. I can hardly get out of bed.
Yeah.
It's difficult for me to do anything. How can I feel Vaheguru in me? Right? How can I even think about helping anyone or serving anybody? I am no use to anyone. He cried. And you know what Guruji said?
What?
He said, you are a spark of Vaheguru. Vaheguru's light is in you. I just want you, Guruji said, I want you to remember that you are the light of Vaheguru and Vaheguru lives in you. Can you do that? Yes.
Whose bag is that?
Who's mine? Can you do that? Can you remember that I'm asking you? Can you always remember that you are Vaheguru is within you?
Yes.
Good. So that's what Guruji asked Nuri. Yes.
And in that story, you were talking about him. They didn't have food. They couldn't eat.
He didn't have too much food.
And then somebody came, and then they gave him food, and then he got sick, and then he died.
Right. Okay, we don't know about that as yet. So guess what, Nuri? Yes,
How many pages did that book have?
178.
Oh.
It's a big book. Okay, so what happens when Guruji said that to Nuri? Can you do that? Can you remember Vaheguru is within you? So Nuri was not sure, but he said, how do I do that? I don't know how to do that. It's a good question, because Nuri didn't know. Nobody had told him that Vaheguru was in him, right? If nobody tells you Vaheguru's in you, how would you know to remember Vaheguru, right? So this is what he asked Guruji. So he says, remember Vaheguru every moment. See Vaheguru's light in everything. Vaheguru's light is in the plants, in the animals, in the sky, in everyone. Don't be a burden to anybody, right? Yes?
Take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself.
Vampire.
That's right. Taking care of yourself means also taking care of your room, taking care of all your belongings, right? That's serving yourself. And then be happy and see that Vaheguru's light is in everyone. So first, look after yourself. And second is, look at everyone and say that Vaheguru's light is in them. And then soon, you will know, you yourself will know how to be happy and live. Guruji's words made a deep impression on Nuri. All night long, he thought about what he had heard. Next day, he said, "You've given me hope." As he said goodbye to Guruji and Bhai Mardana, "I will always remember your words." So Guruji left the next day, touching Nuri on the head and said, "Remember, Ekyumkar Vaheguru is always with you and loves you." Bhai Mardana, guess what he did? He bent down and whispered in Nuri's ear, "You're a very lucky man. Guru Nanak Sahib came to your home. If you follow his teachings, I am sure you will be cured." So guess what happened from that day onwards? Nuri would wake up in the morning with a smile. Can we wake up in the morning with a smile? Yeah. He began to see the beauty around him. He began to feed the birds and did his best to keep his home clean. He even planted a small garden and was so happy when the flowers would bloom and blossom. Many times he would think about Guruji and Bhai Mardana, and he wondered where they were. He felt very happy that Guruji had come into his life. Many months passed by. One morning, Nuri felt strong enough to walk down the river for his bath. After he bathed in the river, because there were no running water, there were no showers, you have to take a bath in the river. So a strange sensation came into his body. And all of a sudden, he began walking tall and straight. And he returned to the village. His friends and his family were so happy to see him. They quickly gathered around him and said, "What happened? What happened? You are cured. What happened to you?"
What was it? Which guy? There's my guy.
That's the guy. That's Nuri. That's Nuri. He became all cured. So what did he say? So they all wanted to know what happened. So guess what Nuri said? So Nuri softly replied, "One stormy evening many months ago, 2 men came to my hut seeking shelter. One of them was very unique. His name was Guru Nanak. He spoke to me. Then he sang while the other man played the rabab. His words entered my heart and mind and filled me with joy. His love for me made me want to live again." Villagers wondered if it were Guruji and Bhai Mardana to whom they had refused shelter. They felt very ashamed of themselves. "Please come back home," they begged Nuri. "You're cured now, and you're one of us, so come back to the village." Guess what Nuri said? Nuri smiled and gently said, "Thank you for saying that, but I will continue to stay in my hut. My Guru has taught me that we are all children of
Vaheguru.
and the spark of Vaheguru is in all of us. My home will now become a dharamsala where everyone is going to be welcome." So Nuri made his house so that every traveler could come and stay there, because remember, there were no hotels. So now you know what? Guruji and Bhai Mardana could have taken the easy way out, couldn't they have? Right? They could have both said, well, we're both Hindus, or they could have both said, we're both Muslim. And guess what would have happened if they had done that?
What?
I don't know what would have happened. Would the villagers have let them stay in their house?
Yeah.
But did they do that?
No. They didn't lie.
They didn't lie. They stood for what they believed in, right?
Right.
And so for that, now what does that tell us? When there's a difficult situation, remember it's raining and it's going to be really difficult. And what if they don't find a place to stay? Do we lie?
No.
Do we forget who we are?
No.
Right. Now I want to talk to you about something else. See, Bhai Mardana and Guruji were different, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure all of you have different friends. Some of you may have a Jewish friend. Some of you may have a Christian friend. Some may you have a friend that looks different from you. What if you were playing soccer or basketball and you were on the team, and because your friend was different, the coach said that he or she couldn't play in the team, what would you do?
So I'll stand up for my friend.
You would stand up for your friend. Because why?
Because it's my friend and I won't let anybody say anything wrong to my friend.
Yeah, but
Or
what if
mess
it wasn't your friend?
I'll still stand up.
You would still stand up. Yes.
I've done that a couple of times. Well, actually, many times because a lot of kids gotten hurt, especially in third grade.
Mhm.
I've helped people.
That's great. But remember, we must always, yes,
Remember who we are.
that's right. We are always here to help. It doesn't matter if we get to play the game. We must make sure that everybody gets to play the game. That's being kind. Sometimes we have also in school some children or some teachers who are different from us. Maybe they have, they've hurt themselves. Do we shun them? Do we say, no, we can't play with you, we won't hold your hand?
No.
That's really bad, right? We know. Or if you're playing on the game and somebody has hurt themselves and they're not going to be the super best in their team. Do you take them in your team anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's being kind.
And
Do you say mean things to them?
No.
So I want to tell you a little story. But it's a story about me. But I want you to, I've never shared this story with anybody. But I think I should share it with you. So when I was a little girl, when I was 3 years and 4 years old, I was a very quiet and shy girl. I would stand in a corner and nobody would play with me. You know why? Because I was very, very dark. I've become very light, my color. So all my friends would say that if we held your hand, we'll get black like you.
No.
That's what my friends would say to me. So that's why I never played with them. I stood in a corner. I was always the last child when people to be on anyone's team. So I know what it means to be.
sad.
Yeah, that's why I know what it means to be not included. So I never wanted to do that. Because that sadness always stays with you.
I have done that before.
So you don't get,
People have
you
done
don't,
that to
you,
me.
yeah, you bring everyone with you. And if you see somebody in the corner who's standing there quietly, you make that extra effort to go and bring that person and say, we want to play with you. You're part of the team. Yes?
We have the buddy best, and then if someone just sits there, you can ask them if you want to play with them.
Yes.
Right.
So you must always remember
Hey, I
that the
have a
person
buddy
who
bench
doesn't
too.
talk the most or the loudest is the one that really you need to go and help them and talk to them. Yes?
So at my Aunt Bria's house, we're doing a dance party with my cousins and niece and more, and everybody was joining in, but except my mom, so she didn't want to go in, so we were like, come on, Mom, but she did come in.
That's nice. So you encourage everyone. So what was Guruji also saying, you know, what did actually first Guruji's Shabad which changed everybody, right, with Nuri. So when we listen to Shabad, do we listen to it in that way? That's Guruji's talking to us? Do we think about it that way?
Yeah.
That's right. So I want to ask a question to all of you. Which ones of you like to read? Put your hands up. Okay, that's great. You love to read. Okay, now, and the next question. How many of you like to write?
That's my favorite more than reading.
More than reading is writing?
More than reading.
More than
My
reading?
favorite
So,
is reading.
okay, so now, I am the author of this book, right?
Really?
Yes. That's why
what
I
it
came.
says.
That's what it says.
It says volume 3.
So, what? Now I'm going to ask all those writers in the room. What question do you have for me?
Volume 3.
What question?
Oh, I know. Well, how did you write your name on there?
Okay, that's printing. How did I write my name on there? Yes, that's printing. We after we write the book, it goes to the graphic designer to lay it out, and then it goes through the printing press. Yes.
Oh, what's that?
Pradeep Singh, great question. Pradeep Singh is my artist, the person who made all the pictures. So he's in India, and I am in the United States. So what happens after I finish the story? It goes to a special person who's called the editor.
ਜਗਜੀਵਨ ਕੌਰ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਵਿਸ਼ੇਸ਼ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਜਾਣੇ ਗਏ।
Hi, how are you? Also, Sat Shri Akal, right? Yeah? Can you say Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh? Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Sat Shri Akal. How did you like the story? I was in the class and I saw the story with you, with Inni Kaur. Can you first tell me your names?
Gursimar and Guru Singh.
Nice to meet you both. I saw the story with you, and it seemed like you really were loving it. Tell me what you thought of it.
We're just really cool ones, why I like to read, and I like to read with my family.
That's nice. Did you learn from the book?
Yeah.
Yes? How about you? What did you think?
I really like the book because it's in Punjabi and stuff, and I really liked it because it's illustrated by the lady over there, and I really liked how she wrote it in Punjabi.
Yeah, she wrote it in Punjabi and in English, and she showed us the pictures while she was reading it to us, right? And she explained how we could write our own books and get our own illustrations. We can make them ourselves, or we can have them made for us, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to write your own book one day? Did it inspire you?
Yeah, I do want to write my own book one day.
Really? Do you think maybe you'll write a book?
Yeah.
For children or for adults?
Adults.
Adults, wow. That's big. Okay. Well, one day I hope I'm going to read it. Nice to meet you. How old are you today?
8.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Are you excited that you're here for a book signing?
Yeah.
Yeah, and to meet Inni Kaur. Is this your first time meeting Inni Kaur?
No, I met her last year.
Oh, wow. That's very lucky. Wow. What did you think of the book when she read? I was in the classroom while she was reading it.
It was really good, and it was a really good book.
That's great. And I saw that. I saw you in the classroom. It seemed like you really, really loved it. And do you have any questions? I think you already asked some.
Yeah. Actually, I don't have that much question, but I have one question.
Okay.
Did they ever go to that place and did they ever go there?
Yes, they did go to there. That's Sri Lanka. And that store, and it's when Pacha crossed India, which was now India, to go to Sri Lanka to meet Raja Sibnab, and that's because the Raja was longing for Guruji. So when you long for Guruji with a pure heart, Guru comes, right?
Yeah.
That's a great question. Happy birthday! I'm going to come have some pizza with you.
Okay.
ਇਸ ਉਪਰੰਤ ਬੀਬੀ ਇੰਨੀ ਕੌਰ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਵਿਖੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸੰਖੇਪ ਸੰਬੋਧਨ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਗਟਾਵਾ ਕੀਤਾ। ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਪ੍ਰਬੰਧਕ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਬੀਬੀ ਇੰਨੀ ਕੌਰ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਵਿਸ਼ੇਸ਼ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ।
When Guru entered, when Shabad entered, I can tell you my life changed. What you see today in front of you is not what I was 20 years ago, 25 years ago. What you see in front of you is meher, is grace. Ek Guru di kirpa hegi hai. So when people say meher doesn't happen, grace doesn't happen, oh nahi, it's very much true. True today, true tomorrow, and eternally. Because this really is every word which is in the Bani is true. Because I have experienced it. So next year, 2019, is an incredible year for the Sikh world. It is Nanak Shai 550, and there is a request. How is each one of you going to celebrate it? Yes, your gurdwaras will celebrate it. Yes, there will be samagams and nagar kirtans and all that. But it's not about that. It's about each one of you, each one of us. How are you going to celebrate Guru Nanak Sahib's arrival? The only way you can do that is through his Shabad. So, ek benti. Take a Shabad of Guru Nanak Sahib. And this is what I told the children. All year, concentrate on it. Figure out what it means to you. Live that Shabad. Sing it. Think about it. Analyze it. Do whatever you need to do with it. But become a part of that Shabad. And that will be your celebration. And see how your life changes. Because it will. It honestly will. So with these words, I am grateful that all of you, that I had the privilege to be here with all of you, to share my thoughts. And honestly, Bhai Sahib said that his ardas towards Sangha was to always be connected and serve the Sangha. And when I write and when I put my things out, I always write, may my ardas be to the Sangha, that my last breath be in service to my Guru. Not because of glory, it is because I have received so much. May I be worthy that till the last breath, I be in that service. So Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh।
ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਇੰਨੀ ਕੌਰ ਦਾ। ਇਹਨੇ ਵਾਕਈ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਾਹਰ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਭਾਈ ਵੀਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੀ ਜਨਮ ਦਿਨ ਇੱਥੇ ਨਿਕਲਿਆ 5 ਤਰੀਕ ਨੂੰ, ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੁਝ ਮਨਾਇਆ ਜਾਂ ਕੁਝ ਰੈਕਗਨਾਈਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ, ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਅਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ। ਤੇ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਗਲੇ ਸਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਇਸ ਵੱਲ ਵੀ ਧਿਆਨ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ। She's right. We both are connected with inspiration also. We both got a lot of inspiration from Bhai Veer Singh Ji. ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਕੁਝ ਉਂਗਲੀ ਦੇਣੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਬਈ ਇੱਥੇ ਚਲੋ ਜਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਚਲੋ, ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਨਾਲ ਕਨੈਕਟ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਏ। ਭਾਈ ਵੀਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੇ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਇੰਸਪਾਇਰ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦੇ ਰਾਹ ਦੱਸਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਹੁਣ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਚਮਤਕਾਰ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਡੀਓ ਸਰੂਪ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾਰੀ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਮਿਹਰ ਕਰਨ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ 12 ਮਹੀਨੇ 'ਚ ਇੱਕ CD ਉਹਦੀ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਜੇ ਰਿਲੀਜ਼ ਕਰ ਸਕੀ ਕਿ ਉਹਦੀ ਵੀ ਦਇਆ ਹੋਏਗੀ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ, ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਇਸ ਵੱਲ ਵੀ। ਇੱਕ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਕੋੜ ਰੋਗ ਦੂਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ, ਲੈਪਰਸੀ, ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਲੈਪਰਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੂਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਗਾਥਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਸੁਣੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕੌੜੀ ਰੋਗੀ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਭਾਈ ਵੀਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜਦੋਂ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਗਾਥਾ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਨੇ, ਤਾਂ ਕਰੀਬ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਆਡੀਓ ਸਰੂਪ ਕੀਤਾ, ਕਰੀਬ ਅੱਧੇ ਘੰਟੇ ਦੀ ਉਹ ਗਾਥਾ ਹੈ। ਉਸ ਗਾਥਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਪੂਰਾ 29 ਮਿੰਟ ਤੇ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਮਨ ਦਾ ਰੋਗ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੂਰ ਕੀਤਾ, ਇੱਕ ਕੌੜੀ ਦਾ ਮਨ ਦਾ ਰੋਗ ਦੂਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ, ਔਰ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੂਰ ਕੀਤਾ, ਕੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਮਝਾਇਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ, ਉਹਦਾ ਮਨ ਦਾ ਰੋਗ ਦੂਰ ਕੀਤਾ। ਉਹ ਲਾਸਟ 2 ਲਾਈਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀਤੇ, ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਨੇ ਫਿਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਸਰੀਰਕ ਰੋਗ ਵੀ ਦੂਰ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ। ਬਸ ਇੰਨੀ ਗੱਲ ਸੀ। ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਇਹੀ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਕਿ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨੇ ਕੋੜ ਰੋਗ ਦੂਰ ਕੀਤਾ, ਬਈ ਇੰਨੀ ਗਾਥਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਬਈ ਸਰੀਰਕ ਰੋਗ ਦੂਰ ਕੀਤਾ। ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਭਾਈ ਵੀਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਚਮਤਕਾਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਗਾਥਾਵਾਂ ਵੀ ਕਾਫੀ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਲਿਖੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਸਨ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੁਣ ਕਿਤਾਬਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਕਿਤਾਬਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੁੱਕਦੇ ਹੁਣ, ਅਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਆਡੀਓ ਸਰੂਪ ਇੱਕ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਸੀ। ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਚਮਤਕਾਰ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਸੀਡੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਣਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਅਤੇ ਬੋਚਕ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਜੀਓ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਆਨੰਦ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਪਾਠ ਬੋਚਕ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਜੀਓ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ।
ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਟੀਵੀ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਨਿਊ ਜਰਸੀ ਤੋਂ ਜਗਜੀਵਨ ਕੌਰ ਦੀ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ।